Allow some good deep breaths to flow. Huge inhales, exhales. The balloons are our inspiration for today. The idea that I'm playing with today is the idea of things that give us energy, kind of like a balloon just taking off the ground, and it's like, to me, that's the representation of just happiness and freedom. So there's things that take away energy, that even though, like certain people, for instance, even though you love them, you feel drained after being around them. And there's other situations like that. But what we're searching for today intuitively, just as we travel through class, you're trying to search for what activities feed me energy. For me, some examples are being in nature, meditating, creativity, breathing. Things like that are what feed me energy. Even just giving myself 5 minutes to sit in the grass at the park can be so energizing to me, and I feel like I can carry on the rest of the day super happy. And so just intuitively kind of tune in to seek for what is even just one simple 5-minute thing you can do this week that will feed you energy rather than drain you. So with that to carry us on, let's start moving. Let's put the knees into the chest. Let's start to rock just a little bit. Our movements will be things all over the body, especially shoulders and hips, that just help areas that are normally tight to feel much more free form, kind of like that balloon just gliding along with the air. So first and foremost, let's cross this right knee, this right thigh really tightly over the left side. We're going to grab onto each ankle. The right hand grabs the left ankle, the left hand grabs the right. By just hugging that in, it helps some of those deep outer hip areas to really kind of relax. So that's some deep, easy breaths. Legs crossed, we're going to take a twist. So spread the arms open nice and wide. Sometimes I'll bump the hips an inch to the right before I let them fall over to the left. From there, once you're settling to that direction, release all the effort, all the muscular action, just letting the weight of gravity pull it gently over. As we start to return the knees up, recenter the hips. Take a hand onto each knee once you uncross. And both legs are doing huge hip circles. So they're circling in opposite directions. So at one point they come together, and at one point they go away from each other in the circles. So this kind of freeing up some of that hip tightness. Maybe even reverse direction for 2 or 3 circles. And then when you're ready to cross the left thigh tightly over, grab onto each ankle for the other direction. Same thing, just easy, slow breaths. Think of it like the balloon inflating. You can't force the air into it kind of too quickly. It's not like you're trying to send a tornado inside of it. That would be maybe a little bit too intense. So instead, it's just a fan, just gradually taking 20 minutes or so just to slowly inflate it. Can't turn the fire on too quickly. Just have to let it do its thing for a little while. Spread the arms back open. If you bumped the hips over, do it this time an inch to the left before the knees fall over to the right. almost like the spine gets stuck. It's like we don't twist around enough. So imagine if balloons, instead of being just straight fabric and the sewing that was done to create it, what if we put bones in it and it's like the balloon was just stuck in one shape? It would be so much harder to fold up and for it to be useful. So imagine it's almost like we're loosening up our spine to the point where it's just this kind of free-flowing fabric. So just another huge breath, let it flow in and out. Good. So return the knees up, recenter hips, and take just a few more of those circles. And you'll eventually reverse. Slide the hands up to the feet, happy baby. You can have rocking or stillness. Right leg tries to reach out, finding a little bit of extension. And left leg. Beautiful. Both knees are bent, plant the feet back to floor. Drop the hands by the hips. So here we're going to start moving into the shoulders just a little bit. As the hips lift up to bridge pose, also lift the arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, the hands return at the same time that the hips touch the ground. So just flow with your breath. Inhale, the arms are up. There's lots of space in the ribs for breathing. Deep and full breaths into the lungs, and exhale kind of squeezes it out just a little bit. And let's take another 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Just leaving the hips there. The arms reach to the space above our chest. This will help us to start moving into the shoulder blades a little bit. What we're going to do is traction and retraction of the shoulder socket itself. So you're squeezing the arms kind of forward, lifting the shoulders off the ground, but the back is still connected. And then do the opposite, kind of pull the shoulders in to touch the ground, even kind of arching the shoulder blades off a little bit. So hands lift up, and then hands lower back down as the shoulders press into the ground. Just kind of adding mobility into that spot, this first little movement there. 3. 2. 1. Good. Arms reach up overhead. Inhale. Exhale. We're lifting the shoulders off the ground to a little crunch. And return back down. Good. Option to slide the legs long if that makes it a little easier for you. The bent knees is easier in that you could grab onto the thighs. Good. And return back up high. 3 more full cycles. 3. And down. 2. When you reach forward, really feel the arms doing that same thing that we were doing on the ground. Kind of spaciousness in between the shoulder blades. Last time we're turning down. And then when we rise up, stay in that nice forward fold. Rolling the spine up, grab the left foot, plant it to the outside of the right thigh. And we're taking a twist by hooking the right hand over the right elbow. even lowering to elbows if you can. You're also trying to walk the elbows forward until you're getting into the IT band, just very gently. For me, it's like, I may even be taking the left hand to grab those right toes. Set the hips back down and sit back upright. The right hand drags out from that left foot. Left leg extends up in front of us. We take another twist. This time hovering left hand behind us. So how this also gets into this right IT band by swiveling the leg over toward the front right corner of that. Turning forward, bend this knee, maybe cradle it out, rocking it a couple of times, just ease into the hip. Drop the left foot to the right side. As we're sitting up tall, circle the arms up to sky. And exhale with that long reach. Again, perhaps this is a chance just to walk the fingertips forward so that you're pulling the shoulder blades away from one another, creating space right in that spot. Straighten the left leg. This right leg crosses over. Left hand or left elbow hooks. Oh. So twist to the other. I do spray, so. As you return back forward, plant the hands or go to the elbows off to the left side. You're inching the elbows toward the front of the mat so you can start to feel the IT band, maybe right and dragged out. Back up, the sitting bones are on the floor, left hand to the outside of right foot. It's extending up and crossing over. And again, spiraling, right hand to reach behind us. Turning forward, baby cradle the right leg. Spine is lifted tall, rock back a couple of times. Right foot drops to this left side. And you're there, lengthen the spine up high, inhale. So reach. Sliding both feet into cobbler pose. Let the spine really be lengthened up tall. Going to tilt that tall spine forward. If you can't go any further, then allow the spine to relax. The head is really heavy, drooping forward. On the floor, briefly walk the hands over closer to the right eye direction. Walk through center over to the left. Good. You can have a couple more similar to this. Walk back through center. Take a bonus breath. Huge inhale. Nice exhale. And let's walk the hands in. Cross the legs, rolling over onto hands and knees. Good. Creating some space and some freedom through the shoulders even more. We're going to go for kneeling a couple of times, going back and forth between hips back and child pose, and then hips forward and unfurling into. So it's largely just about that mobility in the shoulders. So if the spine doesn't want to arch quite so much, don't feel the need to press it. Letting the shoulders gently have a chance to move back and forth. Allowing circulation to flow there. Either stay on the knees or tucking the toes. Go the same action from down dog to up dog. Two more of whichever cycle. For that second one, lower to knees. The right leg straightens out to the right. Come up to a high kneeling. Slide the right hand down the right leg. Left hand circles up and over. And the goal is to help that shoulder and the shoulder blade get into a good stretch. So sometimes that means we round forward just a little bit. Sometimes it means we're stacked and then we pull the thumb back a little bit. Just kind of go into the spot that feels like it's the best stretch for you. Good, rising up. And drop down to elbows. This is another one where if you're not in as deep of a stretch as you wish, walk your elbows closer to that right foot. Plant again, and then circle this right foot to the upright corner of that. Drop forward into lizard, so hips sink forward. You're welcome to lower to one or both elbows. Back up to hands if you dropped. Similar to what we were just doing with the shoulders, now we're working with the hips. We go back and forth between the hips going back a little bit and then the hips going forward a bit. So the front knee is going to have to go back and forth between straightening and bending. We're creating some space in the hips, so lots of opening. So 2 more. One. Beautiful. Slide this right knee underneath you. We're straightening the left leg out to the left. Hand up high. Left hand slides down the left leg, right hand goes up and over. And then again, if you need to kind of pull forward to get your spot, if you need to arch back, just open up that shoulder in a way that feels really helpful. And dropping hands down to the space in front of you, lower to elbows. Elbows can walk closer to that left foot if you need more. Hands to the top left corner of that. The hips ease forward. Down lower to elbows if you wish. In the hands, take those 5 cycles for the hands, just slowly forward and straighten back. It's a gradual. Feel like we're just helping the hips to relax into more open shape. 3. 2. And this time, when we're in the forward position, tuck the back toes, lift the knee so that we can slide the right foot back up to the top of the mat. Toes are turning out. Let's take a Malasana. Squatting all the way down. Elbows cushion to the knees. Spine tries to lift upward. Front of the growing tall. Drop to the floor. As we straighten the legs, turn the toes forward. Again, similar to what we've been doing, we're going to bend the knees, the hips sink back, like we're in half squat, and then re-straighten that forward, spine draws forward. Few cycles back and forth to those 2 positions. 3, 2, 1. Start to work on heel toeing the feet together, but let the knees be bent. From there, we'll clasp hands behind the back. Try to allow the arms to straighten up and continue to extend forward. hands release, fingers to floor. The legs slowly try to extend back straighter. They don't have to go all the way straight. Any nice extension. The next inhale, we prepare to rise. Arms circle up through the sky. Arch back, and then hands down to heart. So right hand to right thigh, left hand circles up and over. And bridge. Let's exhale to lean over the other side. Up. Both arms up by the ears. As we rotate toward the front door, circle the arms down. As the hands are by the hips, rotate through the front to face the back door, and then circle back up. So in that way, we're taking a full circle with the arms. We're switching the chest. That's good. Front switching each time. You get the hang of it, that full circle, perhaps you just drop the arms down to circle up the other side. Three, 2, 2, 1, and left. Beautiful. Right elbow winds under left elbow. Pushing the elbows forward, round the side back. Straighten through the spine. Bend the knees, sink the hips back. You're gonna stay here or cross the right thigh over full eagle. Straightening the left leg, kick the right foot forward. Swing it under and through, warrior 3. Bending left leg, warrior 1 legs. Elbows still bound, go up to the sky. Good. Release the elbows, clasp hands behind the back, go forward. Release the hands here, drop both hands to the inside of that front foot. Hips sink backwards so that the fingertips can go up to the top right corner of the mat. Similar to when you're on the ground, just find that nice reach forward and try to feel that same type of sensation. And walk the hands through the side, turn the toes to the long edge of mat. Your choice for the forward fold, maybe the fingertips continue to go up forward, easing the right shoulder to, or both fingertips to the right just a little bit, or fingertips to the left if you'd like to play with it. But other variations like grabbing ankles are also fun. Bend to the knees. Pull the spine up. Front toes turn forward. Arms spread open left and right. Good. Final pose. Reach the left hand forward to drop the shin. Right hand to sky. Beautiful. Back up, bend the front knee. 3 times back and forth between extended side angle. The front elbow rests on the front thigh, the other arm stretches forward, and then up to reverse, then into the back wall. 2, reverse. 1. Good, reverse. And then as we come back up, left hand to the base of the neck, the right hand grabs the elbow and pulls the elbow toward the back. Beautiful. Opening the arms back out, cartwheel forward into a half moon pose. Good, soft land back. This time to warrior 1. So as we land, the hips are squaring forward. Good. Right elbow back under left. Tilting forward, warrior 3. Bend the knee, take the leg forward and through. Then eagle's wrap. Sinking low into. Release. Let the noodle arms just swing left and right. Good work. One more side. Okay, starting off. This time, left elbow under right. Elbows push forward, spine rounds back. Right, straightens back up. Bend the knees and sink the hips back. Option to cross left thigh over. Straighten right, kick left forward. Stay under and through warrior 3. And warrior 1, elbows lift up high. Release hands, reclasp behind back, draw forward. Release, hands to the inner part of the front foot. Sink the hips back a little bit as the fingertips walk up the front left corner of mat. Right angle forward, fold to the side. Maybe the fingertips walk forward, maybe they walk through, maybe they're on each ankle, your preference. Deep into the knees, roll the spine up. Preparing for triangle, front goes forward, open the arms. Right hand reaches forward to drop hand to shin, left to side. Back up. Quick bends. 3 cycles, dropping forward. And backward. 2. 1. As you come up, right hand to base of neck, left hand grabs the elbow to pull back. The arms, half moon pose, cartwheel down. warrior one as we land back. Left elbow under right. Launch forward, balancing on the front foot. Bend this left knee before you extend it forward. Wrap it over. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Noodle arms. Good work. Okay, so coming back forward. Sky, you can help forward, fold. Just enjoying a bonus breath here, hanging the head heavy. Inhale, hands slide up the shins. Flat spine. Exhale, plant the hands. Travel the feet back. Plank or kneeling plank. Strongly lower belly to the earth. Taking Sphinx, elbows slide underneath. Heart draws forward and through. Swiveling the hands in, the right arm is in front of the left. And then the hands walk off each side of the mat. The elbows cross past the midline. From here, tuck the chin in, thrust it down. If you're not in the stretch, kind of in between shoulder blades, bump the elbows forward another inch. Bring the elbows in. The right arm slides out to the right. The right cheek rests on the floor. Pressing into the left hand, maybe the hip stack, maybe the top leg plants behind us. We're just stretching the right shoulder in the opposite. Hips return down, back to Sphinx. And left arm is in front. Each hand off to each side. Good to bump the elbows forward to get into the stretch that spine. Tuck the chin in so you can have lots of space to breathe. Locking the elbows in. Left arm out to left. Left cheek down. And again, maybe hip stacking, maybe top leg planting behind. Good, dropping the hips back to floor. Press back to child's pose. Drop the hands off the right side of the mat. Walk the hands out the left side for now. Stop your center. Looking the toes, downward facing dog. Right leg reaches up to sky. Slide it under into pigeon. You're welcome to go straight to sleep. Leg back bend, and cross the head. Onto the hands. The back toes. Travel back up to downward dog. Pedaling the legs a couple of times to feel really nice. Eventually left leg floats. Slides into pigeon shape. Same options. Maybe you stay in the back bend for a little while. Maybe you go straight to sleep. Rock the left hip down to the floor. Right leg swings around in front. Your choice: cross leg, chin stack, or knee stack. You do want both hips or both sitting bones to be on the floor. Only crossing to the point that it feels okay. Then from here, right hand to base of neck. Left hand grabs elbow. This helps to pull that elbow behind the head as the head pushes back. Either stay here for a little while or take the left hand behind the back of the neck to try to see if you can connect the dots today. Just taking the bind. When releases fingers to floor, walk forward and through, just resting into the ease of the hips. Back up, switch the legs, same options, cross leg, chin stack, knee stack. Left hand to base of neck, grabs the elbow, pulls it behind the head, and head pushes back, sit up. Then maybe stay here, try to connect the dots. Inhale. Exhale, release, find the floor, ease forward. Hands walk in. Slide bottoms of feet together. Some more cobblers. Slide up. Tilt forward. Fingers forward when you're there. We'll take one more chance. Walking the hands off to the right. Walking the hands off to the left. Recenter. If you'd like to stay here for a little while longer, that's fine. If you'd like to head to other final stretches for the body, that's fine. Give the body last things that would be helpful until you're ready for Shavasana sooner or later. All the time you need. Sooner or later, you're ready for Shavasana. And imagine the flow of air through the body. It's like those air currents just carrying the hot air balloon here and there, wherever the wind goes. Feel how nice it is to be just energized in a carefree way. It's less about us needing to control everything to be able to have that freedom, that expansiveness. It's more about just kind of trusting that the air will continue to be there. You'll be able to continue to fly. Just trusting the universe has you. Just take deep, full breaths for the next couple of minutes. Begin to deeply inhale. The exhales. Introduce little movements back to fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists. Stretching out in ways that feel really nice. Perhaps choosing to take a fetal position if that feels good for the body today. Enjoying a few bonus breaths. 3 or 4 good deep breaths. You are ready to rise. You're ready. Rise up to a seated place. We'll join hands together and foot apart. Reconnecting to that idea of a balloon inspiration. The types of things that energize us rather than drain us. Things like creativity, being in nature, meditating, and thinking of how we can include even just 5 minutes of that this coming week. And so with this energy, energizing freedom to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together. The sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.